Cruden Bay is a small village in Scotland, on the north coast of the Bay of Cruden in Aberdeenshire, 26 miles north of Aberdeen, just south of Slains Castle. Cruden Bay is said to have been the site of a battle in which the Scots under King Malcolm II defeated the Danes in 1012. Traditionally, the name was derived from the Gaelic Croch Dain. Today, Cruden Bay attracts tourists with its hotels and golf course. It has a long, unspoiled beach made famous by Norwegian aviator Trygve Gran, who made the first solo flight across the North Sea. Literary associations. The village has associations with various figures in literature. Dr. Samuel Johnson and James Boswell were guests at Slains Castle in 1773. Johnson said that no man can see with indifference the sea chasm known is the Bullies of Buchan, which is near the village. Dun Bay, or Yellow Rock, is also near the Bullies of Buchan, and is associated with Walter Scott's The Antiquary. Bram Stoker holidayed first at the Kilmarnock Arms Hotel and then at nearby Whinnyfold from 1894. Some believe Slains Castle inspired Dracula, since Stoker was a regular guest at the Kilmarnock Arms, and Stoker's novel The Mystery of the Sea in some short stories have Cruden Bay as their setting. James Macpherson's poem The Highlander takes the Battle of Cruden as its model. Early area history. Earliest nearby human traces are evident in nearby Cato Long Barrow, a massive stone structure now surrounded by agricultural fields. The nearby cliff-top Slains Castle was begun in 1597 and abandoned and unroofed for tax purposes in the 1920s. Bishop's Bridge spans Cruden Water and dates from 1697. William Hay, 18th Earl of Errol, established the fishing community of Port Errol in the 1840s and 1850s. A functional harbour at the mouth of the Water of Cruden was added in the 1870s. Before that, a tiny, long-abandoned hamlet of rudimentary fisher cottages, simply known as Ward, stood exposed on top of Ward Hill, just above the harbour site. There was also a parish school since 1606, housed in the elegant two-storey Errol Schoolhouse from 1834. The Presbyterian church dedicated to St Olaf, commonly called the Old Kirk, built in 1776, with distinctive conical towers added in 1833, and St James Episcopal Church, notably the first structure designed by architect William Hay on top of Chapel Hill in 1842. Fishing community and seaside resort. Port Errol developed as a fishing community to some extent, but the tidal nature of the harbour restricted the size of craft which could operate from it, and the village missed out on the herring boom. Tourism provided another source of income for the village. Even before the coming of the railway, the long pink curve of the Bay of Cruden sands and scenic cliffscapes to the north were attracting visitors, and a small seaside resort was grafting itself onto the fishing community. A Cruden Bay Golfing Society, founded in 1791, played on the open links. The coming and going of the railway. The railway brought grandeur but not lasting prosperity to Cruden Bay. The branch line from Ellon to Bodham near Peterhead was opened in 1897, along with the golf course and the 55-bedroom Cruden Bay Hotel 2 years later. The Cruden Bay Hotel tramway was added, linking the station and hotel. The Great North of Scotland Railway Company promoted Cruden Bay as a Brighton of the North, only 12 hours from London and an ideal escape for gentry and nouveau riche. Despite initial enthusiasm, neither railway nor hotel prospered. The railway was closed to passengers in 1932, and in 1939 the hotel was requisitioned as an army hospital and not reopened after the war. Cruden Bay remains a golfing destination, and the village sustains 3 smaller hotels. Although the harbour area and the local primary school are still styled Port Errol, the Railway Adventure put the name Cruden Bay firmly on the map. Cruden Bay today. The 1950s and 1960s was a period of rapid population decline for Cruden Bay, but the coming of North Sea oil to northeast Scotland, with its attendant jobs and families looking for places to settle, reinvigorated the village. Thereafter, the population rose again, with new housing added near the defunct brickworks, the site of the demolished Cruden Bay Hotel, and along the water of Cruden at Morrison Place. These days Cruden Bay serves mainly as a dormitory village for the important settlements of Peterhead to the north and Aberdeen to the south. The 18th-century timbered salmon station still operates and some seasonal commercial fishing continues. Cruden Bay has a medium-sized primary school. Secondary pupils are bused to nearby Peterhead Academy. There are a few small shops, a chemist, newsagent, a post office, hardware, a craft shop and a general store. There is also a Chinese takeaway, a medical surgery and a library. There are also many sports facilities, tennis courts, and 2 football pitches. The school and public hall house a number of youth groups such as Girl Guiding UK. There is a congregational church in the village centre, and just outside the village there is a Scottish Episcopalian church and a Church of Scotland parish. Cruden Bay is not far from the towns of Ellon and Peterhead, and is about 30 minutes drive from Aberdeen city. Holiday makers are served by 2 hotels, a pub and bed and breakfasts. Attractions for visitors include the beach, the golf course of the Cruden Bay Golf Club and Slains Castle. Oil pipeline. Although there is little evidence of its presence other than a small complex a few miles south of the village, the sands at Cruden Bay is the place where the 110-mile-long Fortis pipeline operated by BP plc, in use from 1975, finds landfall. It pumps crude oil from the Fortis oil field to Whinnyfold, then by overland pipeline to Grangemouth. Amenities: primary school with preschool, nursery, library, post office, general store, newsagent, general store, medical practice, pharmacy, golf course, bed and breakfasts, self-catering accommodation, 2 hotels, public house, Chinese takeaway, gift shop.